Colin Kaepernick meeting with the Seahawks. Speaking of Seattle, what came of those meetings and where will Kaepernick play next season?
Well, I have long been of the mind that Kaepernick will not play next season, that his NFL career is over. I don't think that's a good thing, and I'm certainly not rooting for that to be the case, because I agree with what he has done on a personal level. But I do think that there is a level of martyrdom to what has happened. And he knew that from the jump, back in September when he's being interviewed about why he was taking a knee. He fully understood and recognized the consequences of those actions. And so whether you want to call it blackballing or whatever, and I do believe that there's an element of blackballing sans collusion. I don't think the 32 GMs all got together in a room and said, hey, we're not going to get him. But I don't think that he's going to play. I think that this was a nice gesture by the Seahawks. But ultimately, I don't think that he's going to get signed, and I think this is probably the end of his career.
Wow. Do you see, is there another place besides Seattle where the door might at least be cracked open?
Well, that's the place, right? I mean, everyone's been talking about it like he would fit in Seattle. The system works for him. Clearly, he would be a great backup to Russell Wilson. With what they do over there. But if it doesn't work here, then where can it work? And unfortunately, I think that there are going to be folks who look at this and say, well, if Seattle doesn't want him and it's the perfect fit, then clearly he is not fit to be a quarterback in the NFL. But you cannot tell me that he is not a top 64 quarterback in this league that doesn't even have 32 good quarterbacks.
Right.
So, unfortunately, I do believe that's the case.
Yeah, no, we've had that discussion. And actually going back to San Francisco, and we all thought that he was the perfect Chip Kelly quarterback. And for whatever reason, it didn't click entirely. Whether it was his fault or otherwise, it just didn't click otherwise as far as wins and championships there that we thought maybe might materialize from that marriage, and it didn't.
I mean, if Blaine Gabbert has a job in the NFL and Colin Kaepernick doesn't, there's something going on here.
Yeah, very clearly. And that was kind of the test, was if Blaine Gabbert gets a job before Colin Kaepernick, it's not Mark Sanchez and all these other, third-string quarterbacks who might not make that final roster cut down. It's the dude that lost his job to Colin Kaepernick once Kaepernick got healthy enough to play, who's getting the job. And now Kaepernick is having to work out with a team, 80 days after he gets cut. No, something obviously is going on. We all know what's going on, and we can be frank about what's happening.